Hey everyone, Sky here to discuss the 2019 Hellboy, starring David Harbour, Milla Jovovich, Ian McShane, Sasha Lane, Daniel Day Kim, Sophie Okonedo, and Thomas Hayden Church, and directed by Neil Marshall. Now before I get into this, I don't know if I was too excited. I was nervous because I'm not gonna say it now, but I don't know this actor that's playing Hellboy, David Harbour, but I heard he's the sheriff on this TV show, which I've never seen. I have a Netflix account, but I've never seen the show, haven't gotten around to it. I hear it's really good, but what will I think of him as Hellboy? Let's get into this movie. Nimue, the Blood Queen, played by Milla Jovovich, from this series, gets slayed piece by piece by King Arthur and a powerful wizard named Merlin and Arthur's sword Excalibur. And not only was that opening sequence very dreadful, but there were moments of gore and I was like, God damn! And there were times of, well, I will react like, fuck me, or good Christ, because this is a gory movie as a motherfucker. Hellboy, this time played by David Harbour, faces off against an old agent friend of his named Esteban Ruiz, who got turned into comasauce in the wrestling ring and kills his demonic ass. And honestly, David Harbour is an adequate Hellboy, and my problem with him is he mumbles quite a bit in this movie, and I heard he mumbles quite a bit in Stranger Things, but I've never watched it, so I couldn't really relate to it. So I didn't quite understand for about half the movie. I didn't quite understand him, and I'm missing Ron Perlman and to death now as the character, and as I'm as Professor Broom, excuse me very much, being portrayed by John Hurt, but this time Ian McShane as Professor Broom. I've talked about him before. He's not a good character, and I was glad when he died later in the movie. Spoiler alert, I'll get there, but it was at a point when I didn't care. Professor Broom tells Hellboy to go to England to visit Professor Broom's old friends from the Nazi war, like at the end of World War II, including Lady Hatton, played by Sophie Okonedo, who's a worthless character to begin with until she tells the story of how he was supposed to die when he was a baby, but Professor Broom saves his life. And I could care less because we've seen this in the origin of the character. We don't need to see it again. Hellboy's right hand sounds like broken buildings, and that was annoying. And I also don't need to see Rasputin in this movie. I've got enough in the original until legendary Hunter Lobster Johnson, played by Thomas Hayden Church. What are you doing here? With his powerful claw that was a character wasted in this movie. I felt like he was wasted. I'm not going to lie to you. A half-man, half-pig monster named, oh, correct me if I say this wrong, Grugao, or Grugog, something like that, kills all the monks and nuns, which was as gory as hell could imagine, Hellboy tries to find giants and kill their asses with the people who help him out until they betray Hellboy and try to kill him until they come in, which was ridiculously stupid. The Hellboy versus 3 giants fight, and yes, there's 3, was just pretentious. Hellboy gets rescued by Alice Monaghan, played by Sasha Lane, and Hellboy saved her from Gunagach when she was a baby, and she helps him until Professor Broom comes in and introduces Hellboy to Major Ben Dimia, played by Daniel Day Kim, who I've seen in other movies. I don't like him as that much in this movie. And Alice, I don't mind as too much. She was easy to connect with. Hellboy is pissed at Professor Broom for purposely trying to kill Hellboy all those years ago and takes it personally, and the performances are absolutely terrible by the actors, including David Harbour's. And at that moment, I absolutely miss Ron Perlman and Guillermo del Toro's style. Hellboy, Alice, and Ben find dead bodies at the house where Hellboy was in England. And I like Alice's power of acting like Lady Hatton through her tongue. I thought that was pretty cool. Hellboy fights with Gruch. I don't know how to say his frickin' name. Until Nimue introduces herself and she asks Hellboy to join her as her king. Was rather pretty fucking stupid. Hellboy comes across Gruch when all those years ago was in Alice's body, and that's how Hellboy saved Alice at the time. I fucking hate that flashback. Meanwhile, Nimue is put back together by the stitches, and I was like, oh, good Christ. Don't make me fucking watch this. This movie is a fucking mess. Hellboy, Alice, and Ben go to the secret headquarters in London, where Hellboy and Alice meet up with Professor Broom, and Ben gets a weapon to kill Hellboy. And this again is too fucking messy. Hellboy finds Bobby Yaga, as he was in an imaginary world, and Bobby Yaga tries to get Hellboy's eyeball, feeds Hellboy some body parts, and that was fucking nasty. She offers Hellboy to help him and trades to find Nimue. She kisses Hellboy, and I was going to vomit at that point. I can't think about it, because she has hair in her mouth. Ugh, I can't think about it! And I thought, that's just damn nasty. But she tells him Nimue is at Pendle Hill, and Hellboy comes in to face her, and she takes him down rather easily. And then Nimue puts a poison in Alice's neck, and carried by the Black Ven, or he takes care of it, I should say, and he wants Hellboy to pick up the Excalibur. And that felt pretentious, but thankfully he didn't pick it up. Yay. Nimue and Gruch, please don't make me say that fucking name anymore, destroy London and capture Professor Broom, and Hellboy goes on with Alice and Ben to get the Blood Queen, and the Hellboy and Ben as an animal versus Gruch fight was rather fucking painful to watch. And Nimue stops the fight and kills Gruch, and she throws Hellboy to the real Excalibur and picks it up after Nimue kills Professor Broom, which I didn't care at that point anymore. And Hellboy gets his horns back and is the king of the underworld. And Ben almost shoots Hellboy with that weapon I brought up earlier. And Alice uses her powers to use Professor Broom as her tongue. And Hellboy kills Nimue and sends her back to hell, which is typical D-movie bullshit. The movie ends 6 months later. Hellboy, Ben, and Alice find all the monsters, including Abe Sapien. Which what a bullshit ending, I might say. During the credits scene is Hellboy at a graveyard or cemetery, something like that, and we see Lobster Johnson, Thomas Hayden Church's character, giving Hellboy some advice to become a better monster killer. And that took Hellboy, and that took too long, I felt, that scene. The after credits scene is Bobby Yaga hiring someone to kill Hellboy and take his eyeball, and she'll give him a chance to die, which made no damn sense whatsoever. Can we get to the rating, please? Let's get to the rating. I'll give this movie a 2.8 out of 10. This movie is stupid, gory, and absolutely fucking pretentious. I miss Ron Perlman as Hellboy, and I definitely don't like these characters. And this movie is super bland. Glad it bombed. I'm so freaking glad. I don't want to see any more of this crap. So I'd like to thank you guys for joining me for Hellboy and his series. 2 good ones, 1 really bad movie. And until next time, give evil hell.